Hi, folks. I just wanted to give you an example of an example from my own personal experience where an employer and how they change some of their business model might have an impact on a career development for an employee. I worked for an organization. It was a professional association, and what we were doing is we developed and delivered education for students that were studying to be professionals in their field. So what we decided to do is, in order to widen our market, to get more students in, we decided to launch our whole program online. Okay, and we still did offer lectures, but there was less of that. But we were, more focused on delivering online education. So that was our business strategy. Now that's how we were going to differentiate and compete from other professional associations who did similar things to what we did. We were going to go online. So that means you have to have quite an infrastructure. You have to have an IT infrastructure, right? You have to get a learning management system like we have eLearn here at the college, right? We had to buy one too, right? Which you have to license, and there's big money involved in that. But you also have to have people who can manage that system and people who can develop and administer that system. And we didn't have anybody there. So when I was talking to my staff about it one day, one of my guys came to me and said, I'd be very interested in getting involved in that, because he goes, I have a real aptitude for technology. I have a sideline. I'm in the music business. We use technology, recording technology all the time. I got to think maybe you'd want to record lectures online. And he goes, but even just to figure out how I would set up a course online, and I like working on the internet. I think I'd be really interested in it. And so we said, well, why don't we put him on a couple of courses on how to develop an online course and kind of see what he does, give him some technology training through the company that we're going to buy the software from or license it from, see how he does. That guy, to this day, still works in his new function, right, in this function, developing and administering a learning management system. And he goes, you know what, it's like I have a totally different job, 180-degree turn from where I've been, but I can stay with the same company to do it. So that's how an employer can have a major impact just by changing their business model and how they're going to do something strategically, to deliver education. That's how you can actually impact the career of somebody else. Myself as a manager, if we just want to go back one slide, I can coach them. I can advise him. I can give him that developmental assignment and provide training for him, get him into training courses and discuss how he's doing and how he's finding it. But he has to express the interest. So he was self-motivated enough to come to us and say, that sounds like just where I'd want to be. So the employer made that call to change their business. I listened to my staff member, and he reaped the benefit. We all benefited. The company benefited, I benefited, and so did he. So that's just an idea, an example of how it can make a difference in somebody's life. Now, when people are thinking about transferring from their current jobs, especially if you decide you're going to make a new move, either into a new career or into a career which just seems to be the next logical step from where you're at, with a different company, with the same company, I think we have to talk about what a person is willing to go through, needs to go through when we're transferring them out of a department or to a different job. Okay, why is an employee even considering transferring in order to develop their career? Well, they're looking for advancement, job enrichment. They're looking for something that's more interesting for them, and they're looking for something that's more convenient. All right, and we say convenient, something that maybe speaks more to what their interests are, something that sort of speaks to them and says, this makes sense to me that I should be doing this or taking this step now. It's going to make my life easier. It's going to play to my interests more. Maybe I'm not going to be as stressed. I'm going to like it more. An employer is really more interested in filling that position, but they want to make sure that they find a really good fit for the employee. So we have to be conscious of all those things when we're looking at transferring people. In this next slide, we're going to talk about some of the challenges to managing transfers. So we'll get to that in the next video.